It's like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
Shining a light on something they don't want shined on.
Hollywood handing that person, here you go, you can do whatever you want. No, it doesn't work that in the industry. We've come to a very, very dark place.
Do you want to host the Golden Globes? Well, all that stuff I said in the show was true. I said, I'm going to write my own jokes. Right? And I thought, who do I pander to? The 200 richest people in the room or the 200 million people watching at home?
Everyone was told, from Rupert Murdoch, from Fox, to every studio, look, if you touch this thing, you will be out, you will be done. You'll be finished in 3 years.
Told from the very beginning, don't talk to Ellen, don't do this, you can't, go into her office. It was very nerve-wracking, very stressful. We all walked on eggshells all the time.
Truth is, I am that person that you see on TV. I am also a lot of other things. Sometimes I get sad, I get mad, I get anxious, I get frustrated, I get impatient, and I am working on all of that.
Everyone was told, from Rupert Murdoch at Fox to every major studio, if you touch this thing, you will be out. You will be done. You'll be finished in 3 years.
Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care. The room went completely silent. Not fake award show silent. Not nervous laughter silent. Real silent. The kind of silence where powerful people suddenly stop moving because they realize someone just said something they were never supposed to say out loud publicly. And according to people online, that moment has aged in a way Hollywood never expected. Because when Ricky Gervais stood on the Golden Globe stage and casually dropped Jeffrey Epstein's name in front of the biggest celebrities in the world, most viewers thought it was just another savage celebrity joke. Another edgy Ricky Gervais moment designed to make actors uncomfortable for a few seconds before everybody moved on with their lives. But years later, after the Epstein files, after the Weinstein scandal, after Diddy, after the collapse of Ellen DeGeneres' public image, audiences started replaying that clip very differently. Now people online believe Ricky Gervais wasn't joking at all. They believe he was warning people. Because watch the room carefully when he says it. Nobody looks confused. Nobody asks what he means. Nobody laughs naturally. Instead, faces freeze. Eyes shift. People suddenly become very interested in their drinks. And according to viewers online, that reaction matters more than the joke itself. Because critics believe everybody in that room allegedly understood exactly what Epstein's name represented. Elite access. Private circles. Celebrity protection. Powerful friendships. And a system Hollywood never wanted discussed publicly. Then another voice entered the conversation years later and made everything feel even darker. Jim Caviezel. The actor who played Jesus in The Passion of the Christ. A man once considered one of Hollywood's safest stars. A man who could have spent the rest of his career quietly cashing checks and staying comfortable inside the system. Instead, he started talking. Talking about child trafficking. Talking about hidden Hollywood gatekeepers. Talking about powerful people protecting dangerous behavior. Talking about what he called an 8-armed octopus operating behind the entertainment industry itself. And according to many viewers online, Caviezel never sounded like a celebrity trying to get attention. He sounded terrified. That's why people reacted so strongly when clips of Ricky Gervais and Jim Caviezel started circulating together online after renewed Epstein file discussions exploded publicly again. Because suddenly, Ricky's jokes stopped sounding like comedy and started sounding like coded warnings. Then the internet connected another name to the entire conversation. Ellen DeGeneres. For nearly 2 decades, Ellen built one of the cleanest and safest brands in entertainment history. Be kind. That wasn't just a slogan. It was her identity, her business model, her entire public image. Millions of Americans invited Ellen into their homes every afternoon believing she represented kindness, positivity, and safety inside an industry famous for ego and cruelty. Then everything collapsed. Former employees described a toxic environment behind the scenes. Executives were fired. The Be Kind image shattered publicly almost overnight. And according to discussions online, people started questioning whether Ellen's carefully crafted public image had hidden something much darker underneath for years. Then social media started revisiting everything connected to her. Her powerful celebrity friendships. Her inner circle. The deaths of Anhechi and Stephen Twitch Boss. her reported appearance inside Epstein-related discussions, and Ricky Gervais publicly mocking Hollywood elites directly to their faces years earlier. Now people online believe the story is no longer just about Ellen DeGeneres anymore. It's about whether Hollywood spent decades protecting powerful people behind carefully managed public images while silencing anyone who tried exposing the system too early. And according to many viewers online, Jim Caviezel's emotional reaction happened because he believes the public is finally starting to realize something terrifying. The people Ricky Gervais joked about may have never been jokes at all. For years, Hollywood award shows operated like carefully controlled performances. The celebrities arrived smiling. The cameras captured emotional speeches. The audience laughed at safe jokes. And for a few hours every year, the entertainment industry presented itself as glamorous, progressive, compassionate, and untouchable. That was the formula. Then Ricky Gervais walked on stage and completely destroyed the illusion in front of millions of viewers watching at home. And according to many people online, what made Ricky dangerous wasn't just that he insulted celebrities. It was that he sounded like somebody who genuinely did not care what happened to him afterward. That changes everything. Because most award show hosts still play the Hollywood game. They mock celebrities just enough to look edgy, while making sure nobody truly powerful gets uncomfortable. Ricky didn't do that. He mocked studios, streaming platforms, actors, political hypocrisy, public virtue signaling, and eventually, Epstein. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care. The second he said it, the room changed instantly. And according to viewers online, that moment became one of the most revealing celebrity reactions ever captured on camera. Because nobody reacted naturally. No genuine laughter. No exaggerated fake shock. No confused expressions. Instead, people looked tense. Like they understood the danger of the subject immediately. That's why critics online believe Ricky's Epstein joke hit differently from everything else he said that night. Because audiences now think he accidentally exposed something Hollywood never wanted regular people thinking about too closely. How connected elite celebrity culture allegedly became to powerful private social circles behind the scenes. Then years later, after Epstein-related files resurfaced publicly again, social media revisited Ricky's speech nonstop. And suddenly, audiences no longer viewed him like a comedian roasting celebrities. They started viewing him like somebody publicly humiliating a room full of powerful people he believed already knew much more than they ever admitted publicly. That's when people began connecting Ricky Gervais to another public figure who had also spent years warning audiences about Hollywood. Jim Caviezel. But unlike Ricky, Caviezel wasn't using jokes. He spoke emotionally. Seriously. Almost desperately at times. Especially while promoting Sound of Freedom. According to Caviezel, Hollywood had become a very, very dark place. He described systems protecting dangerous behavior through silence, influence, and fear. He claimed powerful gatekeepers controlled which stories became visible publicly and which stories disappeared quietly before reaching audiences. Supporters believed Caviezel was exposing uncomfortable truths. Critics argued he was drifting into conspiracy territory. But then Epstein happened. Then Weinstein. Then Diddy. Then the Ellen controversies. And according to many viewers online, the timing changed everything emotionally. Because once multiple powerful celebrity figures started collapsing publicly one after another, audiences became much more willing to reconsider whether Ricky Gervais and Jim Caviezel had been pointing toward the same hidden culture from completely different directions. One through comedy. One through fear. And according to people online, both men seemed convinced Hollywood's public image was hiding something much uglier underneath. What made Jim Caviezel's warnings hit differently from most celebrity commentary is that he never sounded entertained by what he was saying. He sounded emotionally exhausted. Like somebody carrying information he genuinely wished wasn't true. And according to many viewers online, that's exactly why his interviews started spreading so aggressively across social media after Epstein-related discussions exploded publicly again. Because Caviezel wasn't talking about one bad producer, one criminal, one scandal. He was talking about a system. A structure. Something he believed operated quietly behind the entertainment industry itself. That's where his eight-armed octopus comparison came from. According to Caviezel, Hollywood allegedly protects powerful people through interconnected influence networks. Remove one celebrity, one executive, one producer, one public figure, and the system keeps functioning because the larger structure remains untouched. And, honestly, that idea terrified people online once they connected it emotionally to everything that happened surrounding Epstein. Because suddenly, Epstein stopped looking like one isolated monster. He started looking like part of a larger ecosystem involving power, wealth, celebrity access, and silence. Then Caviezel pushed things even further while promoting Sound of Freedom. According to him, major studios allegedly wanted nothing to do with a movie centered around rescuing children from trafficking networks. He claimed powerful figures inside media and entertainment circles quietly discouraged companies from supporting the project publicly. Supporters saw that as proof Caviezel was exposing uncomfortable truths powerful industries wanted buried. Critics argued he was exaggerating and fueling conspiracy culture around trafficking discussions. But according to many viewers online, public trust in Hollywood had already started collapsing badly by that point. Then came Ellen DeGeneres. And suddenly, Caviezel's warnings started feeling much harder for audiences to dismiss emotionally. Because Ellen represented the exact type of celebrity image people once believed was untouchable. Safe, positive, wholesome, kind. For nearly 20 years, Ellen's public identity revolved around one message: be kind. That brand became enormous. It transformed her from a comedian into a daytime television empire. Millions of viewers trusted her completely because she felt emotionally safe compared to the darker reputation Hollywood already had publicly. Then the workplace allegations exploded. Former employees described fear behind the scenes. Stress, humiliation, rigid rules, toxic behavior. And according to many viewers online, the public reaction became so intense because people suddenly realized something deeply uncomfortable. If one of the safest celebrity brands in entertainment allegedly hid a completely different reality behind the scenes, then what else inside Hollywood might also be fake? That emotional shift changed everything. Because once audiences stopped automatically trusting celebrity images, they began revisiting every major Hollywood scandal differently. Weinstein, Epstein, Diddy, and eventually Ellen herself. That's when social media started connecting Caviezel's warnings directly to Hollywood culture overall. Not because he specifically accused every celebrity of crimes, but because according to discussions online, people believe Caviezel was describing an industry where power and protection allegedly matter more than truth itself. And according to many viewers online, Ellen's collapse became symbolic of that larger fear. For years, Ellen DeGeneres represented something almost nobody else in Hollywood successfully managed to achieve: universal trust. Families trusted her. Daytime audiences trusted her. Celebrities trusted her. Brands trusted her. She danced onto television screens every afternoon smiling, joking, giving away gifts, and repeating the same message over and over again. Be kind. That phrase became bigger than her show itself. It appeared on merchandise, social campaigns, interviews, award speeches. Entire marketing campaigns built around Ellen's public identity as one of the nicest people in entertainment. And according to many viewers online, that's exactly why the backlash became so devastating once former employees started speaking publicly. Because people weren't just accusing Ellen of being difficult. They were accusing her public image of being fake. That changes everything emotionally. Former staff members described a workplace culture filled with fear and anxiety behind the scenes. Multiple former employees publicly claimed people around Ellen felt constantly nervous and forced to walk on eggshells inside the production environment. One former producer openly described Ellen as toxic, phony, a hypocrite. Those words exploded across social media because they directly contradicted the exact image Ellen spent nearly 2 decades building publicly. Then Warner Media launched investigations. Executives were fired. Public apologies followed. But according to discussions online, by that point audiences already emotionally disconnected from the Be Kind brand entirely. People stopped believing it. And honestly, that emotional collapse became one of the most important moments in modern celebrity culture online. Because once the public realized one of Hollywood's cleanest images allegedly hid a completely different private reality, audiences began questioning celebrity branding itself. Now people wanted to know, who else was pretending? That's when social media revisited Ellen's celebrity friendships differently. Harvey Weinstein, Diddy. Other powerful Hollywood figures later connected publicly to serious scandals and criminal cases. Critics online immediately started asking uncomfortable questions about how deeply elite celebrity circles actually overlap behind the scenes. Supporters pushed back aggressively, arguing association alone proves nothing and that celebrities naturally interact with countless powerful people throughout their careers. And to be clear, public friendships do not equal criminal involvement. But according to many viewers online, the emotional atmosphere surrounding Hollywood had already changed permanently after Epstein. Now audiences automatically question powerful social circles instead of admiring them. That's why Ellen's reported appearance inside Epstein-related discussions created such massive online reactions afterward. Because once her public image collapsed, people became far more willing to emotionally connect her to larger fears surrounding celebrity power, secrecy, and elite protection systems. Then the story became even darker. Because social media started revisiting the tragedies surrounding Hetchy and Stephen Twitch Boss. And according to many viewers online, that's when the internet truly spiraled into full investigation mode emotionally. The moment social media started revisiting the deaths connected to Ellen DeGeneres, the entire conversation became darker emotionally almost overnight. Because at that point, people online were no longer discussing celebrity gossip. They were discussing tragedy, loss, and unanswered questions. First came Hetchy, Ellen's former partner. One of the most recognizable actresses connected publicly to Ellen during the peak of both their careers. In 2022, Hetchy died after a horrific car crash in Los Angeles. But according to many viewers online, the internet never emotionally recovered from the footage that circulated afterward. Because videos appeared to show Anne moving and appearing conscious after the crash before later being declared brain dead days afterward. That footage spread everywhere. TikTok, YouTube, X, Reddit. And according to discussions online, many people became deeply unsettled by how confusing and disturbing the timeline felt emotionally. Then came another tragedy only months later. Stephen Twitch Boss. For years, Twitch represented the happy energy surrounding Ellen's show publicly. Dancing, smiling, encouraging positivity. He became one of the most recognizable parts of Ellen's entire brand. Then suddenly, in late 2022, he was found dead in what authorities ruled a suicide. The shock online was enormous. Because according to family interviews afterward, many people close to Twitch publicly claimed they saw no obvious warning signs beforehand. Then years later, additional information surfaced involving hidden struggles and drug-related issues his family, allegedly, did not fully know about publicly. And according to many viewers online, the emotional timing surrounding both tragedies intensified speculation massively. Now to be very clear, there is absolutely no public evidence proving foul play involving Hetchy or Twitch. Authorities ruled both situations officially. But critics online argue the Epstein era permanently damaged public trust around powerful celebrity circles. That's the real issue. Because after Epstein, audiences no longer automatically dismiss strange timelines, secrecy, or overlapping scandals surrounding elite public figures the way they once did. Now people question everything. Especially when multiple controversies seem emotionally connected around the same celebrity environment. That's why Ellen became such a major focus online once Epstein file discussions resurfaced publicly again. Because according to many viewers online, people stopped seeing Ellen's story as one isolated controversy involving a toxic workplace. Instead, they started viewing it as part of something much larger involving celebrity image management, Hollywood power networks, elite social circles, and systems allegedly protecting reputations at all costs. Then Ricky Gervais' old Golden Globes clips resurfaced again. And suddenly, audiences online started asking a terrifying question. What if Hollywood insiders had been hinting at these systems publicly for years? But most people simply weren't ready to listen yet? At this point, many viewers online believe Ricky Gervais' Golden Globe speeches have transformed from comedy into something much more unsettling. Because according to discussions spreading across social media, people no longer watch those clips simply to laugh at celebrities anymore. They watch them looking for signals, warnings, hints, moments where someone inside Hollywood allegedly exposed more truth than they were supposed to publicly. And honestly, the Epstein joke changed everything emotionally. Because when Ricky said, just like Jeffrey Epstein, "Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care," the reaction inside the room looked genuinely uncomfortable. That's the detail audiences online cannot stop replaying. Not the joke itself. The silence afterward. Critics online believe the silence mattered because the people inside that ballroom allegedly understood exactly how many celebrity careers, friendships, and powerful social circles emotionally overlapped with Epstein's world in some way. And once Epstein-related files exploded publicly again years later, people started revisiting Ricky's speeches with completely different eyes. Suddenly, jokes about private jets, celebrity hypocrisy, billionaire circles, and powerful Hollywood friendships no longer felt random. They felt targeted. That's why social media began connecting Ricky Gervais and Jim Caviezel together emotionally, even though they come from completely different worlds. Because according to many viewers online, both men seem to be pointing toward the same larger idea. That Hollywood allegedly protects powerful people until public pressure becomes impossible to control anymore. Ricky exposed the system through humiliation and comedy. Caviezel exposed it through emotional warnings and fear. Then came Weinstein. Then Epstein. Then Diddy. Then Ellen's public collapse. And according to many viewers online, each new scandal made Ricky and Caviezel look less crazy to audiences online afterward. That shift matters. Because for decades, Hollywood maintained control partly through image management. Powerful celebrities looked untouchable publicly because audiences trusted the industry itself. Now that trust is collapsing fast online. People question celebrity friendships, private parties, elite circles, billionaire relationships, and every carefully managed public image surrounding them. That's why Ellen's situation became so symbolic emotionally. Because if one of the safest brands in entertainment allegedly hid something completely different behind the scenes, then audiences online believe nobody in Hollywood automatically deserves trust anymore. Supporters argue internet culture has become paranoid and dangerous. They believe association, rumors, and emotional speculation are replacing actual evidence online. Critics push back by saying the public ignored too many powerful scandals for too many years already. And honestly, that tension is exactly why this story keeps spreading across the internet instead of disappearing. Because according to many viewers online, people no longer believe Hollywood's biggest celebrities are automatically what they pretend to be publicly anymore. Right now, according to many viewers online, the biggest thing changing in Hollywood is not one scandal. It's public trust itself. Because for decades, celebrity culture operated on a very simple system. If someone was powerful enough, famous enough, rich enough, or beloved enough, most people assumed they were untouchable publicly. That illusion protected Hollywood for years. Audiences admired celebrity lifestyles instead of questioning them. Private parties looked glamorous instead of suspicious. Elite friendships looked impressive instead of concerning. Then everything changed. Weinstein, Epstein, Diddy, the Nickelodeon investigations, the Ellen controversy. One after another, audiences watched powerful entertainment figures collapse publicly after years of carefully managed images. And according to discussions online, that emotional shift permanently changed the way people view Hollywood now, especially younger audiences. Because social media operates completely differently than traditional entertainment media used to operate. Old Hollywood depended heavily on studios, networks, PR teams, and magazines controlling public narratives carefully. Now millions of people investigate celebrity behavior themselves online every day. They compare timelines, resurface interviews, analyze old clips, track friendships, connect patterns. That's why Ricky Gervais' speeches exploded again years later. That's why Jim Caviezel's interviews spread so aggressively online. And that's why Ellen became such a massive topic inside Epstein-related discussions afterward. Because according to many viewers online, people believe Hollywood's biggest protection system was never money alone. It was silence. Silence from studios. Silence from media companies. Silence from celebrities protecting each other publicly. And now audiences online believe that silence is breaking apart. That's the deeper reason this story keeps growing emotionally. Not because people think they already know every answer, but because they believe powerful industries may have hidden uncomfortable truths for decades behind carefully manufactured public images. That fear changed celebrity culture completely. Now audiences question everything. Who knew what? Who stayed silent? Who protected who? And how many people inside Hollywood allegedly understood far more than regular audiences ever realized publicly? Supporters argue these conversations are becoming dangerous because internet culture increasingly treats speculation like fact. Critics respond by saying many major scandals once dismissed as crazy conspiracy theories later turned out to involve real abuse, real victims, and real protection systems. And according to many viewers online, that's why Jim Caviezel became emotional discussing Hollywood publicly. Because he believes the public is finally waking up to something people inside entertainment allegedly understood for years. That the industry's cleanest public images may have hidden its darkest secrets underneath. Now the internet believes the untouchable celebrity era is ending. And according to social media discussions, audiences are no longer interested in simply admiring powerful people anymore. They want answers instead.